We've spoken to several sources over the last many hours here in Washington, and no one willing to say, even on background here in Washington, that they are seeing signs of steam or restarting of that reprocessing facility at Yongbyon in North Korea. Certainly an area of great concern that U.S. intelligence watches closely all the time. The real focus continues to be on trying to figure out what exactly North Korea tested underground earlier in the week. By all accounts, it was a nuclear device, but the U.S. has taken air samples, is now testing them, and hopes to have results by the end of this week so they can come to a real conclusion about what happened. Despite all of North Korea's rhetoric, the U.S. says that there are no signs of military movements by the North Koreans, and so the U.S. has no plans to ratchet up its own posture in the area. U.S. troops always remaining on high alert in that region at the ready because of the North Korean situation. So folks watching very carefully, but still really focusing on that nuclear test.
We have the nuclear test, and then the North apparently firing 5 short-range missiles this week. How concerning is that development as well? And when we talk about short range, what exactly does that mean in terms of the distance? Very
short range, really. You know, one official described these to me as tactical missiles only going tens of miles, that they are really the equivalent of U.S. training rounds, if you will. It should be said, to explain to our viewers, these are the kind of missiles that the U.S. fires off all the time on training ranges. The North Koreans do it. It's fairly routine. It got a lot of attention this week because it came at the same time as that underground test and the ratcheting up of North Korean rhetoric. In and of itself, the short-range missiles really are of no significant concern, but it's important, the U.S. believes, to understand why North Korea is engaging in all of this rhetoric right now. Are they serious? Do they want to use this rhetoric to try and get more concessions out of the West? Perhaps this is something going on internally in North Korea. The leader there, Kim Jong-il, recent pictures of him, they're showing him to look to be quite ill. Maybe he's trying to ensure the succession. Melissa?
Interesting. Also, less than a month ago, we had Barack Obama, the administration, saying they wanted to return to the six-party talks. What could these developments this week do to the potential of six-party talks? And again, how concerning is all this to officials at the Pentagon?
Well, I think that's what we've been saying here, which is it's concerning, but they're trying to focus on what they think is the real bottom line, which is that nuclear test. Forces in the region are always on high alert. And as for returning to the six-party talks, I think one can reasonably expect that the U.S. is going to want to determine what that nuclear test was all about and see some legitimate signs of progress from the North before they go down that route.